It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego die the politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. Man of the masses.
Hello there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening or good morning to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun live. Share the broadcast. I'm doing the same. Wahala. That should have been the title of this broadcast. As from the written address of Kolu by his lawyers, they have just threatened the judiciary, threatened the entire country that if they remove him because of Abuja votes, Wala fi deo, Anarchy go deo, Chaos go deo. To remove Kolu right now, now wall.
Ani, Mayegun lawamo, do. Mayegun diary, Ani esunraki, Mayegun ti de.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. After that, sit back, read the caption, read the description as well, right? And then you can make your contribution afterward. We are going to start soon. Share the broadcast.
Níjó ìgbádìyẹ. Ayé sọ́ra yìí. Presido bá rúfin o. Ayé sọ́ra yìí. Gómìnà kówó jẹ. Ayé sọ́ra yìí. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí fa. Ayé sọ́ra yìí. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Ayé sọ́ra yìí. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Ayé sọ́ra yìí. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ayé sọ́ra yìí. Máyégún ti dé.
Mo ti dé. So, ẹ kú lé o. And happy Sunday to you. To all of you who are still in Sunday, by the way. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live. And if you have done all of the necessities, you've read the caption, you've shared the broadcast, you've dropped your offering, which is like the video, and now here you are, busy expressing your own view on the topic of the day. Brilliant, eh? Now, this is going to be me taking you through this in the analytical sense of it. So you are welcome to Mayegun's Diary, Political. Now, the news trending from Nigeria this day is that of Kolu. Okay. You have been following their tribunal case, like go to court, and all of the dramas around that. A lot of us, especially on this platform, that has been taking notes of all the important happenings within that their tribunal trial. In fact, a lot of us here are kind of convinced with the available evidence presented as exhibits in this their petition to nullify Tinubu's election, and then with their different prayers. You have been following. We have been following. But the only people who seems to not be following, or they have a different tribunal case entirely that they have actually been following. Somehow, yesterday, it was time for Tinubu to submit his written address. Written address is when, after everything that happened during the petition, all the witnesses, what they said, evidence, exit, all things presented will be kind of wrapped up in a long speech, and it is written. It is like the summary of the entire case as they have seen it. Now, like I said, we saw from the beginning, because you know what I actually want to do tonight is that when I finish talking, I want you to please enlighten me. What do you think will happen if the court removed Tinubu? What do you think will happen? Do you think chaos will happen? Anarchy will happen? Nigeria will go up in smoke? What do you think? We'll get to that stage. But let's go to the beginning. Like I was saying, Peter Obi and his lawyers and Labour Party, they said the numbers they declared for him is a lie. Does not reflect the number of votes that their own agents managed to keep record of. Far more than it. And not just that. The numbers they allocated to Tinubu, he didn't actually get that number. And to prove that he didn't get the number, they requested from INEC to present the result they announced. Because by their own Electoral Act 2022, okay, the level of, the conduct of the election was going to be from the polling unit to the beavers to the IREV to the coalition and all of that until all results are available, then a winner will be declared. But in this instance, even though it took them over a week or thereabout, when they finally announced Kolu as winner, INEC they've only been able to upload just 41% of the results of the election. So from the beginning, Obi and his lawyers, they asked INEC to produce the results that they announced. At least you know the total of what Tinubu scored, what Obi scored, what Atiku could score. But present the document that, where you have the number. Because normally, when they tell you the winner, the second runner-up, the third, as people score in the votes, they will also tell you where elections were cancelled for one reason or another, where elections are postponed, how many valid votes, how many invalid votes, and the rest of that, they will give you all of that data. INEC didn't give anything like that. It was pretty much like, Tinubu has scored 8.7 million, and that's final. So when INEC finally presented the document they announced, the result they announced, out of 176,000 polling units that were supposed to have been where elections happened, and results manufactured or results are available. So INEC themselves, after playing hide and seek for a while, they finally succumbed and they presented what they called the election results. Now, from all of these election results, from all of the polling units everywhere, 18,088 of those election and polling unit results. I'm not saying 18,000 votes. I said 18,000 polling units. Results came back as blank pages. No numbers at all. You couldn't say this is how much Atif could score. This is how much Obi scored. This is how much Tinubu. You couldn't tell. And this was part of the truly certified copy stamped by INEC as the 2023 presidential election results. So having received that, Obi and his people, they presented Atiku and Obi, they presented that evidence and say, what is missing between those, within those 18,000 polling units? They came back to, number one, this is like a new discovery. This isn't part of what the noise about falsification of results that happened glaringly in everybody's, glaring view. It's more than that. This is something that INEC said this is the result. But in this result, more than 3 million votes could not be ascertained who got what from those 18,000 polling units. Because from that 18,000 polling unit, they have 3 million votes, at least from there. Who did they allocate the numbers to? Who was declared winner in those polling units and all of that, So that's why they presented that as an exhibit of the result announced by INEC. Now, having done that, things got to a stage whereby Obi and his people, they actually outlined the states they were challenging, including local government areas they were challenging. Even where they lost, they are not disputing that they lost, but they are disputing the allocated number. Where in a whole state like Bauchi, when INEC result will come out, it shows that Peter Obi and Labour Party, they scored maybe 95 votes in the entire Bauchi state. Meanwhile, in that same Bauchi state, about 4 or 5 local government areas, where Obi didn't win, but they were announcing Labour Party second with hundreds and hundreds of votes. In a single local government in Bauchi, Labour Party scored over 4,000 votes. But when they are now put the entire state's vote together, they said Labour Party scored 95 votes. So all these numbers here and there that they stole from them, they put all of them together and they presented the dispute on them. In fact, when they did their own collation and whatever, they demanded that it must be declared winner. That you need to declare me winner. I actually won. That was where the 25% Abuja also came to force. But here is a twist. Tinubu got 18% in Abuja. Atiku got maybe 11% or so. Now, Tinubu didn't get 25%. They rigged all the election, but they forgot to rig Abuja. Somehow, that came back to bite them. Okay? So 25% in Abuja. No, there's Abuja is like a state. Now, that argument of whether you go get 25 or whether 25% means something or not, in fact, it actually means a lot. And INEC knows that. Okay? So the twist here is that Atiku is not asking that it should be declared winner. Atiku and PDP, they are demanding for a rerun election that will not involve or include Tinubu because they're asking him to be disqualified. Peter Obi is asking to be declared winner, having fulfilled all the constitutional requirements that put him in a state that he actually won 27 states. He actually had his 25% in 27 states, including Abuja. And that was what he presented in their trial. So when APC came back, they came back with their written, to make it look like nothing happened during that their trial, nothing. It got to a stage whereby when INEC was lying, that something happened to their server that only stopped presidential election results from being uploaded. Other results were easily uploaded. Here you get. They brought in an expert, the people who actually manufactured the software that INEC used in your election. And they came and they said, there's no record of any glitch. In fact, what happened was that it was manually turned off. It's like somebody going on their system and just turned that thing off. That nobody could use it. There was no glitch, no traces, no nothing. That was presented as part of it too. They brought in people from inside INEC as witnesses to witness how the inner play of how the rigging even happened in some places, including River State. But when Tinubu and his lawyer, and when Tinubu's lawyers closed their remark, you know what they did? They said, Peter Obi and Labour Party, they couldn't prove anything. They were just going fishing, looking for anything that they can use. Here you get that, in fact, Peter Obi is not arguing about the election results. That Peter Obi is not arguing about in fact, they believe that Peter Obi said the election was very peaceful. The only problem they have is that INEC did not upload the result on IREF. That's what they wrote in their written this, that they couldn't prove anything. That was just noise. Meanwhile, when it was time for Tinubu to present his own evidence, witnesses and all that, they presented just one witness. The witness that came to indict Tinubu that indeed he was a drug trafficker who forfeited $460,000 US to avoid jail in early 90s. But according to them, that was a long time ago. Nigeria law says if you committed any crime, even if you got jailed for it, after 10 years, you can become president. That was the argument too. But when they were writing their own closing written address, you know what they put there? It was like, it's a waste of time of this court. Look at them. They are just using hearsay. I heard from here, I heard from there. They couldn't prove anything. INEC proved that the election was the best, blah, 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 in that written address. So when they finally closed, they said, Peter Obi is asking the court, the judges, to help him find evidence. That's what they wrote in there, 42 pages. That in all of this trial that you have been watching all this while, that they didn't happen. None of those happened. In fact, it was just for social media clouds. There was actually no trial, no nothing. In that, that's exactly the point. In fact, some people actually who read the content of that address, written address of Tinubu, and they felt like, man, except it is true that Nigeria has no judiciary, okay? If they should turn around and look at that watery stuff, and all that happened, and they still clear Tinubu, Baba, forget it, you have no country. Like they shabbily written. And then in that same written address, they now said that the court should bear it in mind that since Tinubu came in, that Nigeria has been getting better and better and better. And Nigerians are so happy with Tinubu's policies that if they should go and announce that Tinubu didn't win because of 25% in Abuja, that can create chaos. So it will lead to anarchy. So let me remind you something again. The expected announcement. I haven't read the content of Peter Obi's written address or articles written address. I haven't read them yet. And you know, I promised you that once I lay my hands on them, I'm going to bring them here and we're going to review them like we did last night. Yeah. So they put it in there that as it is right now, that if they should remove Tinubu, 8.7 million Nigerians that voted for him, they will shut down Nigeria. But did 8.7 million actually vote for Tinubu? In Lagos State, somebody who happened to be a member of PDP during that election, a PDP presidential monitoring team said this, just a day or two after the election, when they spotted that the abracadabra was about to take place. This is on record though, months back, few days after the announcement of the election. Watch this.
And 36,000. And I have some of I made some footnotes before, coming in here in anticipation that, these questions might come up. In Lagos, our Situation Room record shows that Labour Party has 983,069. PDP has 101,039 votes. APC has 155,101 votes.
Correct.
And the NNPP has 7,550.
These were people who actually sent their own agents to the field. How did Tinubu's 155,000 in his own mega Lagos? In case some of you have forgotten, I will kind of bring it back to you. Yes, I'll bring it back to you. Because the narrative is already kind of changing. Abi? And they are forcing it. They are forcing it. How did 155,000 votes change to 570,000 votes for Tinubu? How did 980,000 votes, nearly 1 million votes, for Obi in Lagos suddenly changed to 580,000? How did the gap of over 800,000 in Lagos alone, how did it shrink to just 9,000 difference? In Rivers State, Tinubu scored 130,000 votes, despite Were Wike's, madness that day. But what did they do? It switched from 130,000 votes. They gave Tinubu over 200,000 votes in Rivers State. Peter Obi that scored 210,000 votes in Rivers State. They reduced his votes down to 170,000 votes. Now, 40,000 votes in Rivers State. Despite all of the rigging and everything, sure you get. How did 130,000 became 230,000, over 100,000 votes? In Plateau State, where they also lost woefully. Tinubu APC, the campaign chairman of his party, his presidential campaign chairman, Lalongi, who happened to also be the sitting governor of that state at the time, when the election of Plateau State started rolling in, from 1.7 million votes for Labour Party, they first reduced. They said, no, they didn't score more than 1.1 million votes. Within 24 hours, within 48 hours, when INEC finally released the result of Plateau State, Tinubu that struggled to get paltry 200,000 votes in Plateau State, they muscle him up. So close. And Peter Obi, they cut down over 800,000 votes of his in that same Plateau State. So all of this, when you begin to add them together, You realize these are the direct ones of his supposed score that got slashed ridiculously. So they said in Benue State, Labour Party won in 14 local government areas. Tinubu APC won in 9 local government areas. Atiku didn't win in any. Kwakwanso didn't in any. But when they declared their Benue State, they said Tinubu won in Benue State. So all of these are part of what they are challenging. Not just challenging, they are challenging the numbers too. Even where they declare them winner. When they pull, even the ones I just told you right now, these are just the major kind ones I can tell. They are listing out about 21 states. In some of them, they are not fighting that they won. No, our numbers were reduced here by this also number. When they put them together, the same criminal INEC, if you start doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you realize that Peter Obi's vote alone, Labour Party, you obedient, is over 10 million votes. They shrank, pushing you to thought, right? That if you begin to deduct Tinubu's total vote in that election, will reach 5 million. Do you understand? He no score 5 million. That's what they are trying to argue out to. So I'm waiting for what Obi and his lawyers will say. But tell me, if they remove him, what do you think will happen? War? Or what? Riot? You know, I told you that, or should I say, a lot of you currently don't actually believe in the court. But you actually want to see how this is going to play out. After all you have seen and witnessed and you know that, you want to see how it's going to play out. Some of you are saying you are waiting for the court before you know what to do. Whether you are going to start your revolution or whether you are going to start your, whatever you want to start. There are people who are saying they are waiting. And the system, the establishment in Nigeria knows this too. That a lot of you, in fact, hang on. Before now, there have been campaigns, right? That you should watch your mouth, what you say about the judges. You should not bring the judges or Nigerian judges to social media. You should not bully the judges. You know, all those campaigns, they say, oh, you are bullying the judiciary on social media. All of these campaigns were coming from Tinubu. At a time, they initially wanted to push the agenda of, you know, when they were saying that some people are saying that it's not going to be inaugurated, sure you get, or nullify the election. They paid that they should push the agenda of June 12, MKO, Abiola, Yoruba, and all of that to say, oh, they are ganging up against Yoruba. Oh, they don't want a Yoruba man to be president. Look at all of this. If anybody tried to stop a Yoruba man. So when they realized that that won't really fly, that was like going to be extreme at that time, they mellowed. They're going to start playing that soon. Now, they were accusing a lot of you of what they are scared of. They're accusing you that you are planning government, interim government. They are accusing you of maybe you are encouraging a coup in Nigeria. All these are their personal fear. There are some of you, you are planning to shut down Nigeria, that you are going to reject the judgment of the Supreme Court or judgment of the Tribunal if it doesn't go your way. Not that you have actually come out and say, we will not accept any judgment other than anything that they declare will be winner. I haven't seen anyone among the obedient or even anybody around Obi or anybody, even around PDP. I haven't seen anybody around Atiku that said, hey, if they don't declare Atiku winner, if they declare Tinubu, this country is going to, nobody. Now only APC, Egbekegbe, the scallywags. They are the ones who are projecting their fear, their worry. It's like you saw something, okay? And you didn't expect all this force, this too much force, right? Like, why is everybody like, why is it so hard? Am I the only first person that will first rig election? What is wrong with people? Why is it that they cannot let go? Why can't they just move on? Sure you get. And every time you are worrying that maybe something is going to happen. Maybe some people are going to, you know, maybe this victory is not going to last. And because of that, if that should be the case, then what are they going to do? Are they going to make the country ungovernable? Are they, no, that's all those things, right? They are now projecting them on a lot of you because they are worried. Yes, they are. They control the judiciary. They control the military. They control the media. They control almost everything. But yet, they still feel like They are still seeing the shadow of what they have done. And sincerely, except the tribunal actually feel the threat, because the threat right now is they are now threatening the judiciary. You are not threatening judiciary, right? Because most of you are just like, you are waiting. We just want to see what they will do. This one is actually sending a direct threat through his own lawyers. That you look at all of this thing, it's a waste of time. Nigerians already love Tinubu. They are already moving on. Now the country is already growing. It's already making policies, blah, 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 blah. The world leaders are already fighting to see him. A lot of them are queuing everywhere. You know what? That's all those stuff. They are bombarded. They are now dropping that in their written address to the judges to say, listen, if you should nullify this election. In fact, in their written address, by the way, they said that Peter Obi is asking for something he will not benefit from. They said, my Lord, this honorable court, it will surprise you that Peter Obi and Labour Party, they are asking for a rerun or to be declared winner. Somebody that came third is asking to be declared winner if they can disqualify the person that is declared winner. Meanwhile, they said everything Obi is asking for is actually asking them for a Atiku. I don't know if you have seen that propaganda yet. They are twisting it, but it's actually in that written document. It is in written address to the court that if the court says they should do a rerun tomorrow, Obi will not participate. That's what they said in that written address, which is not true. Are you with me? So all of these are like, so my Lord, it is very expensive to conduct another election. In fact, it is even dangerous to even disqualify Tinubu and say he should be arrested for perjury, for forgery, and then for crooked violation of democracy or democratic process, compromising the democratic process in Nigeria. He will be arrested. So what will happen? Chaos. The Agberos, everybody. I will let you answer that, okay? Because I actually want to make it an open convo as well. So Atiku is also going to respond. And then after that, the tribunal will give their judgment. And I remember, in fairness to them, the judiciary, the tribunal, they said they are going to treat this case. They're going to treat it as based on its merits, not on technicalities. Tinubu and gang, they are relying on technicalities. Technicality is when they say, for example, during the trial, Obi's lawyers were supposed to say, my Lord, but they didn't say that, my Lord, at 11 o'clock in the morning. So, my Lord, technically, you will remember that on record, they didn't say, my Lord, at 11 a.m. So, because they didn't say, my Lord, 11 a.m., my Lord, I want you to throw out all of the things they have given, evidence, everything. The case is worthless because they didn't say, my Lord. Maybe that one is kind of a ridiculous example, right? Let me give you another one that is so similar. Let's say they are challenging the nomination of Shettima, for example, okay? And because there is a judgment, okay, that said Shettima was duly nominated, okay? And the Obi's lawyers are saying, no, he wasn't duly nominated based on so and so. So they will now say, well, my Lord, in their statements, they said that the closing date for INEC nomination was on the 24th, okay? But, my Lord, they said that Shettima didn't submit his nomination until the 27th, 3 days after the deadline. That is what they are proving, my Lord. But, my Lord, sir, my Lord, do you know that they made a mistake? The actual deadline was on the 25th. But in their document, they stated that the deadline of INEC was on the 24th of May, and Shettima submitted on the 27th. We didn't say Shettima didn't break that rule, but my lord, they made a mistake. Instead of on the 25th, they said on the 24th. So my lord, based on that technicality, all of this evidence is hereby null and void. We want you to throw them out. That's what is called technicality. Not that they make any mistake or anything, no. Technicality based on how they filed their case, how they submitted, or how they number their exhibit evidence and all that. Sure, you get how they, how they kind of submitted them sometimes. Yeah, these are the area of technical areas. Okay, how somebody got nominated or not, how you actually argue that. They will now say, oh, you didn't say on the 25th. Even though Shettima also violated this, but because you see, you made a mistake. Instead of you to say 25th, you are saying on the 24th. So because of that, we are going to listen to the argument of the counsel to the respondents. But on this case, we hereby thrown out all this based on this technicality. We hereby thrown out this entire petition. That's it. Breaking news. Tinubu defeats Obi Atiku. The tribunal said Tinubu won. The media will just feast on it. But guess what? The media, the judiciary, decided not to look at any evidence at all anymore because of the filing date error. That's it. So that's what these guys are looking up, right? They are actually working on. They are also saying, my lord, even this Obi self, they don't nominate him normally. He not be member of PDP, Labour Party. So my lord, technically, this guy shouldn't even be challenging Tinubu in court. In fact, technically, my lord, he's not even a candidate. So those are the technicalities Tinubu's lawyers are hanging on. So and according to them, if the judges, the tribunal, should go and look at evidence, and they should remove Tinubu, and they ended up removing Tinubu, chaos in here, anarchy nibo. Anarchy don't do everywhere already. Hunger day everywhere. Chaos day everywhere. Describe chaos. Describe anarchy. That is more than the kind of anarchy that is kicking the stomach of so many Nigerians right now. Hunger. Shege Bansa. Right. So like I said, I'll leave that to you. And I'll let you come back and share, what I mean. However, before we move on, I want to go to Abuja. I will add this, just a quick one. Somebody who happened to be a PDP member also stated this on record.
Like you said, the Labour Party came all out from the blues. In less than 2-3 months, it generated the same votes that PDP generated that has lasted for 25 years. And barring any last-minute abracadabra, they would have won election themselves.
Thank you. So I was kind of chatting with my friends on the TikTok because that place, you see Lagos Abobaku's there, and they will be there. You the craze, you are mad. You this go kill you, go punish you. Why do you hate Technicality? I was telling them that you see my own supporters who are on TikTok, obedient who are there. Okay, they can be arguing with themselves, fighting themselves. Okay, because I'm not reading the comments. However, they should take a easy with themselves until that video stops. But let's go to Abuja before we go to Kenya, and then before we open the line. All right. 3 days ago or 4 days ago, right? The former crooked criminals called the former governors, 1999 to 2003, 2007 sets. They converged in Abuja because one of them has become governor, the president, Tinubu. And this was how that kind of went. I want you to see it. The credit goes to the AIT for this clip.
A convivial atmosphere as President Bola Tinubu receives the class of 1999 governors at the State House, Abuja. The president himself is a member of the group, having been Lagos State Governor during the period. The former governors were the first set of state chief executives upon the nation's return to democratic governance after a 16-year military interval. The meeting held at the council chambers had in attendance former governors James Ibori of Delta State, Donald Duke of Cross River State, Niyi Adebayo of Ekiti State, Lucky Binedo, Edo State, Oji Uzokalu, Abia, Sam Ego, Ebonyi, Olusegun Oshoba, Ogun State, Bisi Akonde, Osun State, among others. The president told his former colleagues that his administration was aware of the current economic challenges as a result of the fuel subsidy removal, saying efforts are on to address the situation.
And I understand people are suffering. Yes, there can be no childbirth without the pain. The joy of childbirth is a big relief of the pain. Nigeria is reborn. It is a rebirth for our country. To face our problem, to bring the savings, to benefit the largest number of people in the country, and not a few smugglers and exploiters. Please help tell the people to be a little patient. The palliative is coming. I'm doing the arithmetic. I don't want people, the cash transfers, to fall into wrong hands.
He says he will do everything to stabilize the country and protect democracy.
The job of making Nigeria great is my ambition, is my dream. To renew the hope of Nigerians, to really bring about changes that will promote unity, equity, stability, and prosperity for this country.
Briefing status correspondents after the meeting, the chairman of the group, Lucky Igbenado, said he commended the president for the steps taken so far to reposition the country and assured him of the unwavering support for his administration.
And also let him know that this is beyond party politics. We are not talking about the project Nigeria. Therefore, all hands must be on deck to give Mr. President the needed support and encouragement to foster a better country, a better nation.
Igbenado said they also discussed other pressing national issues with the president.
We talked about security, we talked about unemployment, and we talked about electricity, because without electricity, you really cannot develop. So for us to develop, then there must be constant, uninterrupted power supply. And the issue of subsidy is gone, and it's gone forever. People should start finding their level, and I'm sure with time, things will come to normal. And also the unification of the exchange rate into one now, as was also mentioned.
The class of 1999 governors expressed confidence in the ability of President Bola Tinubu to transform the country. Yemi Adebayo, AIT News, Abuja.
Those are the failed class of 1999 to 2000, and I mean, if they did good, you could tell. Like, Nigeria is poverty capital of the world today. Sure, you get Nigeria is poverty capital of the world today, and that is not anybody's making, other than the criminals who have had the chance to change the fortune of Nigerians, and they didn't. Well, they did change the fortunes of Nigerians to what you have today, the burden of Africa. Nigeria is a burden in Africa, and a lot of Africans are already showing that to Nigerians. The other day, Seychelles said that they don't want anybody that is holding Nigerian passport. She not me. I been a you. Go Seychelles, go commit the crime. Not me and you. But here we are. When you elect a drug baron, and you have the history of your citizens smuggling drugs to wherever they can be sent to. Because according to them, if you want to be out of poverty, do anything to be out of poverty, my brother. A lot of people, Nigerian anthem is that every time they be asking, what is the source of your wealth? What is the source of your wealth? But in Nigeria, nobody they ask for the source of your poverty. Do you see that? Have you not heard that before? Man, this guy, where this guy get money? What did this guy they do? My friend, shut up your mouth. What's your business with what he does? He's rich. He's a hardworking man. He's kiniko. What's your business? Every time you'll be asking what's the source of his money? What's the source of his money? Have you ever asked for the source of his poverty? Baba, I don't have to ask you for the source of your poverty when I know the source of the poverty in Nigeria. It's not hard. It is not. Somebody was talking about Nigerians should, on this platform, people will say, Nigerians should wake up. Nigerians should wake up. This kind of life is not life. You cannot continue to live like this and all of that. They should wake up. They need to know that they need better life. And I was like, do you actually know, does an average Nigerian know what is a better life? For real, let's be honest with ourselves. Average Nigerian. Does an average Nigerian ever know anything called better life? Ever? Can an average Nigerian describe what it means to have a better life? Baba, it will shock you what better life means to average Nigerians who have been dipped in generational poverty. It will shock you. There was this video. In fact, it's like, those things they call the home makeover. Maybe when I don't make small money now, I go to do that one for people in Nigeria. It's quite good. And, it will tell you that people don't actually need much from their government. Not that you should hand it to them. No. Just create conducive environments where they can multiply, create, and lead better life. In that video, they did a home makeover for this old man and his small family in Mushin. Now, you see this home makeover. You know how the houses in Lagos are. Let us forget all this mega nonsense that some of you are living down in that bubble that you are living. Forget that for now. Let's talk man to man now. Lagos. Sure you get. I've got properties in Lagos. You know that. I grew up in that same Lagos too. I was born in that Lagos. My family is part of that Lagos. When I say my family, I'm talking about real indigenous people of that Lagos. We are Ijebu. Sure you get. And Ijebu owns Lagos too. Kind of. So let's talk man to man. You know what it is like in the house of, when you go to Mushin, and you go into those face me, I face you, face me, I slap you compounds, okay? And you know how messy and trashy it can actually be, including having to share the same toilet, the same bathroom, and all of those things like normal life. That you are, like in that part of, that's where this guy went, this YouTuber. And he picked this family, okay, to give them home makeover. And what did he do? If you see where they were living, the couch, the room, the wall, you know what I'm saying, Abi? They were really poor. But they didn't see themselves as poor that way, okay? Because you know something, what they believed they needed. Okay, I'll tell you. This guy now brought in painters, brought in people who could actually like redesign the room, in a way that they brought in new furnitures, new flooring, refrigerator, electric generator, by the way, not electric generator, big one. You know those ones that you can use key to start. And within that space, I think they also kind of managed to create his own private bathroom and toilet. Sure you get, where they don't have to go and share the public toilet in that same compound anymore. It was just so little change. And they were interviewing this old man. Oh dear, you need to see the joy on his face. And he was describing what just happened to him. And he said, I am so happy that he never believed that he would ever live in such a house in his life. He hasn't left the same building, just makeover. And he said he is so grateful to God Almighty, okay, that look at him, somebody who is not a rich man. I'm not a rich man. Now look at my house. Look, I have my own toilet. Oh, I have my own bathroom. And look at my TV. Look, I have my own generator outside. Eh? This is the kind of life that people who are like commissioners, ministers, that's how they live. A poor man believed that that makeover has automatically pumped him to the category of the life of a ministers, commissioners, rich people. In that little change, in that small space, that's how poor these criminals have made our people. Very poor. In fact, they say now that it's about 8K. What can 8K do for you? What can 8K buy? My friend, shut up your mouth. Do you know what 8K means to the poor people? They are talking about the people they've actually weaponized, the poverty. Yeah? So you just have to be like, man, how do you see those people and say they are your leaders? I don't know. I don't know how you see those people and say they are your leaders. Like, why are you lying? Eh? They are not leaders, they are dealers. And now they have the ex-convicts. Lucky Binedion as the spokesperson for the Nigerian past governors, the 1999 to 2007 past governors of Nigeria, 1999 to 2007 sets. I were blues. After the reggae played the blues. Sure you get? Now blues, when the bedu enter body very well. Now the same reaction everybody go give, including those who are kind of urging them or nudging them on. So yeah, I don't see them as that. But Kolu, who happen to be the person who violated democratic process in Nigeria to make himself the president. And he's such an empty skull, unfortunately, that when he got to Kenya, Nairobi, you know, he needs validation. He needs these pictures. He needs all these things to make it look like he's president. Here you get. So he got to Kenya. When they started shouting, we must stop coup. We must defend democracy. We must protect democracy. My friend, stop shouting. We know who you are. He started shouting in Nairobi. Democracy. We must do everything about democracy. We must stop a coup. We must stop coup. I remember that Buhari's interview when he was talking about himself. He said, Buhari, tell us about, please, Mr. President, please tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself. Who is Muhammadu Buhari? You remember that interview? Buhari was like, my name is Muhammadu Buhari. And if you remember, in Nigeria, during that time when I joined the army, and then we always have this coup counter coup, coup counter coup, coup counter coup. Anyway, that was him describing himself. He said he became prominent. If you remember those times, coup counter coup, coup counter coup. That's exactly what this guy was shouting in Nairobi. We must stop coup in Africa. We must strengthen the... But he didn't say it himself at first. Sure you get. When he got to Nairobi, I don't know where he disappeared to. He showed up for a photo op like he did in Paris. So back then in Paris, he was seen to have walked into the place, took pictures, and disappeared. Then he showed up later, like a dawn, like a bat that he is. And he was looking like somebody who was lost. You know that grandpa that was lost inside in the middle of the mall. And you're like, that man looked lost. Sorry, Baba, do you need help? So yeah, I'm looking for my what are you looking for, old man? What's your name? That was how Kolu was looking in Paris. Then he came back. They said, president, world leaders, they were fighting themselves to see Kolu. Where? Show us photo. Show us video. Nowhere. So they said he got to Kenya, and the Kolu's representative said, President Kolu said, Africa should shun coup counter coup and coup counter coup. Anyway, I got some I can share with you. They're not really anything interesting. Or sure, you know, I've told you before, do not anticipate to watch Kalu with anything reasonable. Just watch like, you know, like that old man that, I don't know. So he was there, and this was him when he walked into the place when they got to Nairobi. Okay, well, at first he left Nigeria. Watch this. This was last night. Sorry, guys. I was chatting with my friends on TikTok again. So that was Kalu leaving Nigeria last night. Then he surfaced today. Yeah, Ategmoro, Ojo Pagogo. Watch him. Ojo Pagogo.
Your Excellency, Madam Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary.
He was there to take pictures. He needed that. Yeah? And it was time for him to talk. They didn't make him AU chairman this time. Why didn't they make him AU chairman like ECOWAS president, ECOWAS chairman? So that they can say, congratulations. The African president are so happy to see him. I can't wait for Dele Alakori, by the way. You know, Dele Alakori is going to come back and tell us everything that didn't happen. In case if you don't know how to monitor them, I'm just giving you the hints. When you hear anything from Dele Alakori, listen, that is called your presidiot. In the rest of the world, all over the world, leaders of countries, they make statements, impromptu interview, you know, sometimes they ambush them at different international parties or forums like that. Fora, yeah? And you just, you know, different media will hold you. President of a country, you speak clearly, sharply, you don't hide away. But in Nigeria, they will bring ancestors, demented as ancestors that can only just mumble for a few minutes, gone. So they will now hire some vuvuzelas, as a spokesperson. Now those ones go come they explain to you. So anytime you see Dele Alakori talking, anytime when he is telling you, waiting Tinubu no tells you, he is just telling you what didn't happen. That's how you should be seeing him now. Every time Dele Alakori is telling you about something, just believe that you are listening to something that never happened. When President Tinubu go to Kenya, he was it didn't happen. That didn't happen. Do you understand? The president, all these African presidents, they were queuing over their head to meet. That did not happen. President Tinubu's idea and policy all over Africa is that never happened. That's how you should be looking at him. If you really want to keep your sanity, or if you go to listen to Dele Alakori, you go just they get angry unnecessarily. Imagine you being angry watching that clown. I've told you many times, sometimes he gets angry because they're lying to you. I don't like being lied to. Especially somebody lying to me and then kind of feel like I'm stupid to believe them. It's annoying, isn't it? I think that's how some of you feel. But again, the moment you have that mindset that, when Dele Alakori is talking, when Dele Alakori is even reading something to you, he wrote them himself, all right? Those things are lies. They are not real. They will never happen. Quote me anywhere. You go know later. Maybe here we did when Femi Opono Adesina was writing his own Sheikh Bedu Abikilon Contime, yes, in son. Sunday, he will come and write all this John Dice nonsense about Buhari, how Buhari was treating them like children, how they are seeing him as father, how Buhari sometimes ago when they were in France, and then because Femi Opono Adesina, he didn't like to eat akara neko. So they decided to go and source for akamu. It was President Buhari who asked people to say, I need you to find akamu for Femi. That's what Papa do. Presidential spokesperson, he'll be writing that on media and say, Buhari was so, he was like a father. He cares so much for him. He loved him so much. And because he has seen him so close, that could somebody so love somebody like this, Me, Femi, loved by Buhari. And the rest of you are abusing him on social media. Do you even know what this man is? That's what that one was doing. He'll be, and then when he want to attack people that say anything about Buhari, they hold bow. But when it comes to Dele Alakori, those ones, they will lie to you. They will come threaten you if you question them and say, sir, you said in your whatever that, can you please explain that further? What do you mean? Who sent you? Did they send you to come and start? Which station do you represent? I'm from Arise News, sir. You see, that's the problem. That's why we don't want Arise News to come around us. You like to create trouble. You like to create problems. Why can't you just be like other people? I say, what's happen? So if we now say that, okay, they should sanction you and don't come here. I just said you should explain further, sir. What you said. Can you explain that further? What explain? What explain do you need again? In fact, you are all thinking this government is not going to take any nonsense from any media. Let me tell you, any media that is trying to sabotage this government, wait till we ask, wait till they talk. Their own is different. Sure you get? They will gaslight you. They will lie to you. They will gaslight you for not believing the lie. They will come threaten you for even trying to even prove stubborn, say you don't believe the lie. I have never seen any kind of psychotic, no, not psychotic. They can't have a name for them. Narcissistic people like that. It's so unfortunate that Professor Wole Soyinka did not show any kind of honesty when he jumped off these guys, and he told the world that the obedient are fascist. People who force their own thing on you, if you don't agree, you are an enemy. You see, if all of us are Nigerians and we have all equal rights, if you say you want something, I say, no, I don't want, I don't agree. Why does that make me an enemy? It makes me an opposition who disagree with you. And if I have an opportunity to get rid of you, to get those who I believe in, to take that charge, it is called democracy. It will enemy. Every small thing you be enemy. We know that you don't like him. We know that you are enemy of it. It will enemy. And because they have made it official, You know, in their government, too. If you don't go with them, you are an enemy. And as I have shown you, let me show you this one, okay? This is a call talking about coup, democracy. Person who rigged election, compromised the electoral process, compromised the democratic process, and is battling legitimacy. In the Nairobi, they talk about coup, counter coup. Really.
The challenges we face mean that governance will be difficult. They also mean that visionary good governance is necessary. Some observers assert a new scramble for Africa is afoot, and it is much like the old scramble that plundered our continent. But here and now, let it be said to whoever the new scramblers might be, our continent may be old, but our spirit is new. And it is strong. The bad that took place in the past must not stay here. It shall never be repeated. ECOWAS continue to strengthen effort to maintain peace and security in the region by ensuring the conduct of peaceful elections in member states to deepen democracy and promote good governance.
Kolu. He was trying to read and be like somebody will be like a normal person, but he's not. Okay? So I was saying something again to my friends on TikTok. I want to tell you. I said, do you know that I can be nice? I can be this polished, what's this politically correct people like to say? You know, I can be very kind of, you know, use some nice words to still talk without having to, you know what I mean? Be like Wire Tifnumbu, Atifku, and the rest of that, like I do call them, okay? So I was telling people on TikTok there that, listen, every time, where everything that comes out of my mouth, none of them is by misfire. Maybe boy, I can hear misfire. Maybe that's not what Mayegun wanted to say. Maybe Mayegun is angry. No. If I give you facial expression, based on whatever I'm saying, is to knock the message to you very well, right? You know, I can't be saying something so serious and be laughing or kind of cracking you up. Okay, I do crack you up even when I'm saying something serious. But you see all this facial expression, what do you call it? Then when I drop all those, you know, those big words, weary, I want loaf, I want weary. You see, when I say things like that, I actually say them to get you, those of you who are watching, and somehow, you like what I'm doing, okay? But you are like a closet supporters of these criminals. You are the type that will be like, Che, you know, get father for house. I mean, you should show some home training. You know what I mean? I mean, you can still deliver your message without having to be very vulgar and all that nonsense. So I kind of like that to out you. Che, you get? Like, when I'm using those words on those criminals, right? And you can't take it anymore. I mean, I can't take this anymore. I'm out of here. No, I can't take this anymore. This guy is so kineko. What is wrong with it and all that stuff? I love getting you angry. Imagine you getting angry watching a program like this in your house. You are doing all that madness in your house because you are watching Mayegun. And your family come out and say, Daddy, Kilo, what happened? Are you okay, sir? Kilo de, sir? Yes, sir, why don't you just change the channel? No, I can't change it. It's just that this guy, all that stuff. So it's all about, it's like punishing yourself unnecessarily. Imagine getting angry because somebody says something about Buhari or Tifnumbu or any of those rogues. Somehow, it touch you. You can't type aggressively. You decrease, you this Mayegun, you this kiniko, God punish you. Give back. You know the work. You are just reacting to what exactly how I wanted to react. And it's good. Because my friends can have somebody to feast on too. You know how that feels? Where you finally can't take it and you have to come out and start shouting. And people started saying, you know, go better for your papa too. You know, go shaking. You know that, it's interesting. But the bottom line is that, show what, like, is it worth it? Don't argue on social media because of Tinubu, because of APC, with what they have done to you so far. Tayebati and Shie, like if to say there are some terrestrial power after your life. Baba, you are still fighting on Mayegun's diary political, where they are trying to, where I am actually trying to heal you of your madness. Even they say the day where madman realizes that he's a madman, his healing have started. You are arguing here. Everywhere they will see you. On Twitter, you are there. On Instagram, you are there. On TikTok, you are there. On Facebook, you are the champion. They are calling you Omo Tinubu, Omo Jagaban. Aye en tak pow. Aye àwọn tó around they gon tak bo. Ti yin run lójú yin be. Let's even say nobody told you. Say you dey mad. That the world is collapsing around you. That the crumbs will not save you. You can't jam Mayegun's diary political. Otulogbe where to war. Odalaja pa wanja. Onja antori tani. You are fighting because of APC. Say aye o ti run. At this age, how old are you? You. How old are you? Anyway, going forward, Kolu is going to stop coup in Africa. And I kind of bet it that nobody believed him. Trust me, nobody believed him. And that is why somehow, I am more interested in what you think is going to happen if the court remove him. Shamaloja war ni me ukuku go regereti. Abiabalo, what's go happen? You will tell me. So what I'm going to do next is that I am going to take a short break, then come back and take calls just before I go to bed, okay? So I'm finishing early tonight. So thank you so much for spending your evening so far with me. And I've got a few other things to say about, man, I'll just keep them for now. So you can still like my broadcast. Share it if you haven't already. And you can pick up the phone. Let's have a chat and see how far that goes tonight. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to go make my...
I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me. If I read it, I get high blood pressure. I get angry. I don't read it. So, if I want to hear anything, my children or any of
70 years old man. Is that you? Jesus is Lord. Is that you?
Hello there.
Hello, my good evening.
Good evening to you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You?
Very well, thanks for asking. Happy Sunday to you.
Yeah. Happy Sunday to you too.
Thank you.
How is my family? How is Agbeke? And
we are very well. Well,
and
Agbeke is not really feeling strong there again, but yeah, we're fine. Thank you.
Thank God for that.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, thank you for everything you are doing for us,
Thank
both
you.
in Nigeria and in diaspora. We appreciate you. I know you know that.
I do.
You see, Nigeria case is a very sad case. Very pathetic. And when you are trying to let them realize, they don't seem to understand. So I think they are all they are all daydreaming. That's just the way I see it. Because if you want to talk about the stupid subsidy palliative or whatever Tinubu is going to give them, that Tinubu is going to give them, I don't know how that 8,000 naira, even the 80,000 naira cannot do a thing. How much less 8,000 naira for each household? For even if Tinubu is going to give them for 60 years, it's not still going to help nobody. Talk less of 6 months, whatever. It is insultive. Like, I listened to one podcast yesterday. Showore was on the podcast with Sheun Okebaloye, and a man just called in and said that 8,000 naira is insultive, and that's exactly the word for it. It is so insultive. It is so discriminating. It is so everything. It is so bad. I don't know. And one man said yesterday that they should have to ask Tinubu and all his gang that is his family feeding on 8,000 naira for 48,000 naira. That is 8 times 6.
Yes,
48,000
for 6
naira for
months. Can his family
months.
survive on 48,000 naira 6
Can
months?
his family survive on that amount for 6 months? Now he find it easy to come on the national television to say this is how much he's going to give to each household, and 12 million household. So in Nigeria now, the whole population is 12 million.
Yeah, they are now 12 million.
They are now 12 million. It's so pathetic. Honestly, it is bad. And it's got no other name than bad. I just feel sorry for everybody. And I know they said we should pray for God to God to help them. But when you do the right thing, that's when God is ready to listen to what you want to say.
That's true.
But when you are doing the wrong thing and now you are saying, oh, let's just be optimistic. I said, oh, that's the word. Optimism activated Abi. And one girl said, oh, means my name is Bibire, by the way. Bibire, are you cruise catching? Or what exactly are you doing? It looks like you are making fun. I said, yes, I'm catching my fun so much because I see you all not facing the reality. I see you all not knowing what you want to do. You don't know what you want for yourself.
No, they don't.
Otherwise, you are not going to sit down there and say, Tinubu when your life is going haywire, when a derica of rice costs that much, when people are dying, when people cannot even feed themselves. They can't feed, there is no water, there is no food, there is no security, there is nothing absolutely. And then when you talk now, they say, oh, do you think Obi can do it? I'm not even talking about Obi. I'm not even talking about Atifko. I am talking about a nation. And a nation consists of people that have the same language. That is what they call a nation. So when you come and attack me on my page and, oh, do you think Obi can do it? It's not about Obi or Atifko or whoever. I want a nation that works. A nation is defined by the language and the cultural heritage they share together. We don't have anything to do with all those people that they strap us together with. Let everybody go their own way. Let's manage our affair. When we were regional, we were doing good. Let's go back to that at least.
Thank you so much.
You know what?
Let me also kind of take more so that we can make it an interesting night for everyone too. Thank you for that contribution, sir.
Thank you so much. You too. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, bye.
So I have another caller on the line. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes. It's nice coming first time on your show.
Thank you.
My name is Chike, calling from Oregon.
Chike from Florida. Did I hear that right?
No, Oregon.
Sorry about that. Okay. How you doing, Chike?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
I just want to put my 2 cents from the last caller.
Please.
Actually, the 8,000 if Tinubu is given, it's for 12 million people, estimated people that voted for him. Because you cannot tell me out of 250 million, you extracted 12 million to give 8,000 still.
And that's a plan.
It's an insult. It's a slap on our face. But that 12 million are only people who voted for him. That's the only people who voted for him. Let's call it for what it is. 35 billion is to bribe the judiciary.
That's right.
The 1 something million for the National Assembly is for them to shut up for whatever magomago they intend to do.
That's right.
Going forward with this petition. So Nigeria is doomed. The country is doomed, bro. Let's call it for what it is. Those APC,
we all want to be honest.
People, they just want to give them that peanut to show that in case if we go on rerun, remember, these are just a tip. In case we are going on rerun, we want to hold you. Once we still want to hold this 12 million, just in case. That's it. And we now lobby for more people to see if they can vote for us to win again.
How many more we can get extra?
They are preparing all their options to see either way. Either way. This is stranglehold holding Nigeria.
Why the threat?
The country is so tough.
Why the threat? Why are they threatening everyone if he's already bribing them, like we have seen so far? Why are they threatening, like if they fail to deliver? Who's chaos or anarchy are they talking about?
No, they throw front those big words to demoralize you, to counter you, to break your bones so you wouldn't be able to breathe. Remember they were calling Obi treason, Dati Ahmed treason, even before the result. They have been calling, it's just like literally, you have a criminal case here in America. They charge you those big charges. They know it's not what it is. Then they want you to negotiate. So that's the style they're using. That's the style. They're criminal. What do you expect from them? Nothing good can come out of them.
No.
Nothing.
Thank you so much.
Asari Dokubo went to the government seat of power and at the addressing conference. After who? A non-political actor. You can see what's going on. And everybody shut up. Nobody can challenge them.
And he accused the security, the high-ranking officials of the Nigerian security of collaborating with criminals to steal crude oil. And nothing happened.
Just imagine. Hi. My brother.
Nigeria is in for it. Chike, thank you. A lot of us are waiting for what will happen. Anyway, right?
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you. Baba. Have a good one, okay? So let me. Oh, why did I lose that? Okay, hang on. I'm sorry that some of you were actually like calling in through the WhatsApp. You got yourself knocked out because of those who are calling directly. Well, it is what it is, okay? Hello there.
Hello, Mayegun. Good evening.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's fine.
How you doing? Fine.
I'm very fine, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening to you, sir.
Mayegun, 25%, all those nonsense, the tribunal, anarchy, chaos, all those things you are saying. I don't really want to dwell in all of them because all these are problems. Everybody, I believe, up to 15 years in Nigeria already know there's a problem. Their parents know what the problems are. So every one of us, every caller, everybody following your program knows there's a problem, and we know what the problem is. So they can now begin to tell you Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, this one, that one, this, that. The Arab, the Hausa people or the Fulani people have similar culture to the Arabs. Dubai people love life. Kuwait people love life. Saudi Arabia people love life. What I mean is like their own brand of millionaires live very, very good life. They enjoy life, which means they love prosperity. So you can't tell me it's religion. Because those who carry that religion for head, but they love good life. Even the West cannot live the kind of life people from Dubai are living. So they love good life. So anybody telling you that religion is the problem, it's not. Yoruba people might have their issues separately, but then every Yoruba one wants to see a good road. Every Igbo one wants to see a good road. I want my children to go to school. My Igbo children want to go to good school. So there is something in common between me and my Igbo. All of us want free trade. Everybody wants to be happy.
Right.
So what you have is that during the age of enlightenment in Europe, They have this sort of thing. So don't think Europe has always been an island. People like Einstein, all these kind of things were happening during their own time. It's why we had first, second world. There was chaos everywhere, but people have always found a way to say to their leaders, this can't work anymore. It can't continue. So during the Arab Spring up, so many things happened.
Sorry, man.
Happened in Egypt during the Arab Spring up. These people didn't have, small businesses didn't have power, so the whole place collapsed. So they went to tell their government that this cannot continue. This is no more possible. So what you have is that less than 10 years after, Egypt is exporting power to Europe. Do you know that Egypt is now exporting power to Europe?
I do.
They have solved their power problem and they are now exporting to Europe. When the whites were managing South Africa, everything was okay. They left it in the hands of blacks. Now they are declaring emergency on power in Africa. So in South Africa. What I'm trying to tell you is that I'm beginning to think that there is something wrong with our GNA wiring or coding. Because everybody understands the problem. But nobody is saying, let's do the right things. Let us do the right things. Chase these criminals away so that they stop sharing your money. Over 50% unemployment. There is no other place in the world where 20% unemployment. Unemployment in UK will cause crisis. So Nigerian people are patient people. We are too patient. Europe cannot, there's no part of Europe that can tolerate 20% unemployment. It's not possible. How can that be? So you see what's going to happen now. In a few years' time, if we come with all this rubbish, you see all those countries in Arab area, Arab Africans, not Africans. Already Morocco is saying that they are not part of Africa. Do you blame them? Do you blame them? All those North African countries, when they continue to watch all these things, they're going to find a way to start doing their own thing. Or maybe they join the Arab entirely because they won't understand what's going on this side. Nigerians need to wake up. We need to wake up. This is not a matter of 25% or Abuja. Everybody knows what the problem is. We need to fold our trousers, fold our shirts. People who love good education, people who want good roads, who want us to solve power, who want us to solve problem in judiciary. How can you say that a judge, justice of Supreme Court, will go to be approved in the National Assembly, stand in front of criminals to get approval from them before the Supreme Court can function? People who should be able to throw the idiots away are people who will not visit those places to be what do they call it, to be verified or confirmed. What kind of crazy? What are we doing? People need to wake up. All this to complain and grammar won't solve the problem. Unless people want me to truly there is something wrong with the DNA wiring of the black man. Thank you very much.
That's some area that we should be exploring. There could be something wrong with the selective process of our DNA, genetic, or whatever. That somehow horrible people have been those who have been assuming power. Unfortunately,
the former governor of my state, Chimaru Kenamari, was just a medical doctor, and then he ruled for just 8 years. He owns this one, he owns that one, he owns all these mighty stuffs. I know where the money is. So why can't I have people who are now as angry as I am and going to ask him, oh, wait a minute, you didn't have all these things before, you ruled me for so years, and all of a sudden you have all these things. Where's my money? So why can't people be angry like this? Why are you the only one angry that Tinubu is doing all this? Why are people finding it funny? If people are finding it funny, people are actually defending them.
Yes.
There is something wrong.
There must be.
Tinubu cannot win any country in Europe. If you set Tinubu and Peter Obi to stand for an election in UK, it's a joke of an election. It's not. There's no need going to the pool. Joke. It's not going to be an election. If you take Tinubu and Peter Obi and put them in US system and say vote for either of these two people, it's a joke. Peter Obi won't campaign. It's a joke. It's a one-way traffic. What is going on in Nigeria?
Let me go take another one there. If as usual, you've done so well again. Thank you so much for that insightful contribution. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice one. So I have another call. Hello there.
Hello, Maigo. How are you?
I am very well. How are you, brother?
I'm okay. I'm all right. Dangerous individual. This is Mohammed.
Mohammed. Well, pick your fight. I mean, sorry. What do you say? Like say, pick your fight carefully. So, Mohammed. Go on, Baba.
Do you remember the first day I called you? Do you remember why I called you?
Well, you
I
called
said
to tell me that I kind of always didn't see anything good about Nigeria. And you,
no. That was not the first that I called you.
well,
The
that
first
was
that
the
I
first
called you, I
time.
was talking about what you were talking about with judges, the way you were talking about judges and
Okay.
the fact that
Remind
do
me.
you remember? So I said something
Remind me.
that
When
day.
you start talking, I'll remember. Go on, Mohammed.
So I said something that day. I said the issue with this situation, this tribunal situation, is that at the end of the day, if the judges think that the best thing is to disqualify Tinubu and all that, that there's going to be serious chaos. Do you remember I said that to you?
Ball.
And you're like there's already that injustice.
Tension
I don't
anyway.
know. It postpones. I can't remember exactly how you put it.
Okay, I'll remind you. Now, I said that if I remember very well what you said something like the judges may come back and say, for the sake of avoiding all these blah blah, they will just let Tinubu finish. And I was like, but there's already chaos everywhere. People don't, you know what I mean? Isn't that what I said?
Yes.
And I said,
yes,
whatever happens, it's like kicking the can down the road. People are already tensed. People already feel like, cheated, which is obvious, all right? Now, if the judiciary come about to legitimize it, it's just going to be like, any small thing can trigger it later, like kicking the can down the road. But please.
Michael, I'm not going to lie to you.
Don't lie to me. Oh, yeah.
Someone like me, I'm scared.
Are you?
I'm scared of what? Do you know why I'm scared?
Why?
If his lawyers can put it in their written address that there's going to be chaos and that there's going to be anarchy. Nigeria is in trouble. Like
that too, and they will say,
and the judges will read that. If the lawyers can say that, then we should actually be expecting anything to happen. And if I'm not going to blame the judges if at the end of the day they don't disqualify him, because I know what they're thinking about.
It's just going to be as your lordship faces in it.
Yes, because I know what they're thinking about. At the end of the day, I know that things are bad and things are tense already. But someone like you, I'm not trying to gaslight you. I know you say now that you don't
carefully.
Yes, I know you say that you're in the UK, but you have family in Nigeria, so you're concerned and all of that. I think people in this country, like a couple of people are actually scared, and maybe if you were here as well, I think you'd be that concerned.
Why do you think I do my program if I'm actually not worried? Do you know, it's because I am worried, and I want all of you, if you are already worried, now my program is to justify your worry and say, okay, I think it makes sense now why I'm worried. So I'm not the only person. Now, if all of us are worried, indeed, it's probably for us to be able to kind of be in control of what is happening by understanding it. Sure, you get. Nobody is scared.
Well, whatever happens, I just hope Nigerians will be truthful to themselves at the end of the day, and we'll be able to come together and have a discussion, and then it won't lead to loss of lives.
Mohammed, let's tell
whatever it is. That's why I said we should be truthful to ourselves, and I hope that it doesn't lead to a situation where lives are lost. That's all. That's
hopefully
just
it won't get to that. I mean, it's kind of avoidable, but at the same time unavoidable too. You see, where you have injustice that actually reigns, right? So it's now, and then you have those who says we are going to challenge this injustice. Now it's going to be at one person will have to go down anyway. So those who have the power will say it's not going to be us, and those who they are oppressed enough and with this injustice will say we'd rather die than to live with this injustice. So when things get to that stage, about iron bend iron, or iron.
Well, part of the reasons why I said that Nigerians should be truthful to themselves is I know it's one of those things that people don't like to hear. They said that they say it doesn't affect how politicians are actually, whether they are effective or not. But you see, we have a lot of citizens that are actually not truthful to themselves in this country. They are actually worse than those politicians.
100%.
Yes,
who are those you think make those politicians? Are they not the ordinary citizens themselves?
Exactly. They are put exactly. So I don't know if we'll be truthful to ourselves, even if there's a national discussion. That's why I don't think. So I don't know.
Mohammed, Thank you very much. All right. You haven't really caused any trouble. You've kind of asked us to widen our scope of, perspective too, right? If all this comes to something that is out of hand, then all of us should know the role we are playing, either before, during, or after. That's what I see it as, Mohammed.
Yes, boss.
All the best.
Yes, boss.
Okay, stay safe, all
Take
right?
care.
And keep
Take
it
care.
real. So Mohammed is worried, and it's actually not just what he said, he's scared of what could happen. And somehow, he said if the judges also saw that and they are scared too, right? Hello there.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
My bros, I greet you.
How you doing, sir?
I'm very fine.
Very well.
I'm one of the voices that call you. Once I'm done, I will get a lot of people cursing me on the
Okay.
But they need to understand and appreciate this.
Sure.
You're a man for everybody.
I am.
Those that voted against Peter Obi, those that voted for Bat, for reasons best known to them.
Yes.
I am one of those. Tinubu didn't start as my preferred candidate. I wanted some other people in that. But I mean, it got to a point, I just couldn't relate with the other youth that want the best for Nigeria. Even though we want to get to the same destination, the trajectory of getting to that destination was one I wasn't willing to go forward with. Right. It all started with NSAS. I asked everybody I could ask. I said, oh boy, what is the strategy? They said, yeah, what strategy? I said, there's no plan. Who are the leaders? They said, there's no leader for this. Because we don't want anybody to dabaru people. We know how Nigerian top leaders are. I said, please say this slowly. I said, it's not making sense to me. We want to plan and organize protest, no leader. So on the 5th day was when people like me went off. I veered off. I was scared. I was like, okay, they have signed this and signed that. Maybe they will do it or they will not do it. I saw the future in a way. I said, if we not change the end result, are we going home? They said, no, now we have more demand. So a lot of people that didn't agree with the end result of NSAS, that was the point where we lost ourselves. There was like half the population of the youth in Nigeria that now decided to find a different pathway. For all they cared, the people that supported NSAS didn't mean well for the country. That's not what I'm saying. I know they mean well.
I get their own argument was that those who supported NSAS wanted to burn Nigeria down, which isn't true.
Yeah.
Go on, sir.
So they left. So the same NSAS crowd came and said, it is this man called Peter Obi we want to put forward. Some of us came back and said, we all want the same thing now. Not be this man stand with Atiku, the most notorious of bad politicians, just some years ago. Now you're pushing him forward. Okay, maybe I don't know him enough. I must have read wrongly about him. Who is this guy? What did he do? And then we started bringing out facts and said, please, can you change this fact? Maybe I got it wrong. They said this man invested 20 million of the state money in a family business. I saw a video where he attested to that. I said, in any country, like the one where they live now, there's nothing more criminal than that. Now, it doesn't mean the guy contesting against him is less criminal. He has his own drug, this and that. But I said, now we need a messiah. Can we get back to agree on a point? I don't care where that man is coming from. Maybe from the east, but what is his past? Can we have a track record of this? We said 7 years and some months, no appointments in this and this area, so that we can judge and say these are the people he led on, and these were things they've gone on to do. I don't care who became minister. Maybe one of those people in the local government went ahead to create a new face for our local government, just something, bring up the youth. So he said, no, again, we don't agree. This guy is not the messiah we want. So for me, I saw 3 clowns. 3 clowns. I won't change it ever.
Trying to lead the country
I haven't seen a superior candidate, a counter argument. I said, we have 3 clowns. PDP, LP, and this APC man. I said, well, choose your clown wisely. If there are no track records for some of these other clowns, I said, we're already in deep trouble, whichever way. But now that the case is what it is, I think we should all face up with reality. What exactly are we telling the guy there now? Is it that LP won the election? Because anytime I argue with some of my friends, it's like people like me don't exist. there was nobody that voted for the presidency that we have now. I'm like, dude, relax now.
There are people who voted, of course.
People voted now. I look at the note, I'm like, okay, are we just out to disqualify this guy? By all means, if he's done all those wrong, let them disqualify him. Now we want to have a rerun. You see, that's our wuru to the answer without a plan.
I mean, still conducted by the same INEC or another person. There's so many questions.
Even the crowd that we vote, be honest to yourselves. Do you think your candidate now stands a better chance in winning the election? I'm just asking. Some other guy will come. It won't be your guy. Bring back the people you lost during EndSARS because of your wrong arguments or the things they didn't quite understand. Maybe you had the right intention, but we lost ourselves. Every youth in Nigeria wants the best for Nigeria. I love the Igbo, the Hausa, the Yoruba. We've gotten it wrong. The Hausas were the first that wanted to opt out of the entity when we were using all of their money to develop the other points. A lot of people don't even know the history in Nigeria. It's something we should push out to them.
That story is also not true. You know that, eh? Sure you do.
Well,
no, that story is not true. That they used northern Nigeria money to develop other part of Nigeria. You know, that's not true.
Well, for whatever, I trust.
No, I'm just saying, Shabo. I actually asked it as a question, not that to say, like maybe you should know. You know what happened is that there are records, right? That the government of the Western region, right? Government of Western region had to actually loan money to the government of Northern region to help them balance their budget, not once, not twice, on 4 different occasions, and that's the only record we know.
Okay, but the other
I get where you are driving at. Anyway, I just punch that in. Go on.
Yeah, sorry. The other record we know, bro, is that when these guys wanted to leave, the very respected, knowledgeable nationalist, Dr. Azikiwe, was the one that even warned them of the potential danger ahead if they dare to pull out.
I know.
So definitely they saw something, the other parts of the country, they wanted out. That is a fact we can't now.
No, we can't dispute that. But the true story of that too, Baba, is that after they did their retaliatory coup, sure you get, this was when they actually intended that they wanted to leave. From the word go, they said they were not ready for independence. Anybody will want to go get independence, may go get them. Sure you get. Now, it was Azikiwe who said it's good to get a big country, all of us together, instead of us going our ways. So when it was time for them to draft the independence constitution as well, argumentatively, it was also Azikiwe who argued, his party in particular, not like Azikiwe, but his party argued against the division of... go on, sorry.
God will continue to polish and bless your knowledge. Even
because these are facts. Facts don't lie. You know, people can make up things, okay? But I just thought I should punch those in. You see, when they said they wanted to leave in 1966, after they did their retaliatory coup and they returned back to the north, they expected that the Igbos, at the time, the Eastern regionals, right, they were going to fight back, like stage a war. Southern Nigeria is going to come back and fight them. But that didn't happen. So they said they were breaking away. And like you said, it wasn't just Azikiwe. It was, in fact, all this elite from the West, UK, US, all of them. It was the US ambassador who personally advised them that they were committing economic and generational suicide. Remember?
And these were the best of mine. The only reason I even mentioned Azikiwe is trying to bring my Eastern brother back into the picture. That is the greatest mind we had in that time, could see it differently. Let us calm down and find the things that bring us together. Away from all of these, it won't help. In the next election, whatever candidate you choose as yours stands a lesser chance now to even win, because some people have gone ahead of you to keep pushing the wrong idea into people's heads. We are more divided on religious basis now, ethnic. Now war it will be. I don't know.
You know, what people they fear most is that if you can't turn war, like we can see that. You know, I did a program and I said, you know, Nigerians, right? We tend to be like siblings of one parent, not like that one parent per se. I'm like siblings of one parent where we can't wait to kill ourselves when we have a chance. But if anybody come around to come and fight that household, all of us that can't wait to kill ourselves, Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, we'll gather together and fight that person. Like say we love ourselves. You know that thing?
Yeah, I know. I know.
But time with
these
guys in charge are not helping, unfortunately.
No, they are not. They are not in any way. I've been so disappointed in them. But I mean, it's a talk for another
unfortunately, agitations like this can't go away. Sure, you get. People who actually believe that they could give them chance, maybe to turn things around. A lot of you are watching them as well. Do the otherwise. I don't know how you live with it too, because I can't live with such disappointment too. Sure, you get. Me believing that these guys should do normal. They have the experience, but they fail.
Sorry, the other two clowns, I put it in perspective.
Yeah.
What would they have done differently? See, as the Yorubas will say, how do they say? It's easy for you to put it. Oh, this is what Atiku would have done. Or Peter Obi would have bought 300 electric cars. Where now? They don't make them for them like 6 months. Let's be true. Let me take
another one. I hope you are ready, Sha. A lot of people are going to bash you, right? Just sit down there and watch it, right? And if you kind of have that thick skin, please tell me about it next time you call. Okay.
No, you are for all of us. God bless you.
No, everybody can express themselves. I said people who even abuse me in comment, I want them to call in. Oh, talk calm. So that if you say anything to me, I can say it back. I say, Baba, you said you know that kind of thing, right? It's not worth it. We want everyone to, I believe one thing, Baba, before you go, right? My policy is that even if we don't agree with ourselves, one thing that is missing is that it's like we don't even want to listen to ourselves. Sure, you get. It's like I would say, oh, you're a Tinubu supporter. I don't want to talk to you. You people are, you know what I mean? They don't want to listen to you, right? Oh, you are obedient, obe God, obe Diot, obe this. I don't want to talk to you. Maybe when we start listening to ourselves, even though we don't kind of agree, we'll likely begin to understand ourselves, even respect our differences. And like you said, find a common ground. I don't know how easy that's going to be. I have dedicated my time and platform for that. So thank you for dropping by. And thank you to all of us who has been here as well. Now, if you are still watching, you need to do me that favor. We are over 3,000 on YouTube, but we only have just 900 or 890 of us who have dropped their offerings. Can you do that for a minute? Go into that comment section, okay, under the video, just like it, and subscribe. I have a caller. Hello there.
Yeah, good day. Good day, Mayego.
Good day to you, sir. How are you?
How have you been?
I'm very well, yourself?
I'm good. I think it's high time we elevate you to the field marcher.
Well, people always
You've done so well.
I don't receive the medal, but I've been told that a few times. I think it's...
Yes, God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you. I'm actually calling because of how Nigerians are, conditioned already to accept anything that's coming from these criminals in Nigeria.
Tell us more.
This 25% thing, I mean, it's ridiculous. We all saw the announcement of Abuja during the election. The sudden drama that's playing out now it's really, I don't know what to say anyway. I mean, it's really scary. If they can just come out and put out any figure out there and nobody can say a word, only God knows what will happen to Nigerian future. I give up completely. Completely. So that's my input. I'm just, I really appreciate you.
You can look at everything from the beginning to the end, and you're like, man, except something happened, we are done for.
Yeah, of course. Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Baba.
I really thank you. I mean, yeah, God bless you.
And you too. Thanks a lot. Let me hang on. Did I just miss that? Right. I think I got it. I have another caller on the line.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Mayego. How are you?
I am very well. Thank you. How are you?
Very well. My name is Chim. I'm calling from Calgary, Canada.
Chim from Calgary again. Is it in Calgary?
Yeah.
Or this afternoon?
It's hot. It's hot. It's hot, but I'm indoors.
You better
on Sundays. I try not
enjoy it while it lasts, because every video of your winter in Canada always kind of discourage me from fancying Canada. Like, how do you even live in that place? So enjoy it while it lasts, please.
For sure, we are people. My family has gone out for this is Stampede period.
Tell me about
Calgary Stampede. Yeah, but I just told them I'm not.
Let them enjoy it. You should be indoor.
I'm not. Like no, you are the one keeping me indoors now. If I had gone out now, I would not be able to contact you now.
I know, except for me. I think I'm the only one who could keep you in this kind of weather. But thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been listening. Good. I've been listening. You know, so you see, the thing is, it's painful when Nigerians don't know their history. You know, yesterday I had a conversation with. There's a text message, you know, making the rounds. So a friend of mine shared that text message with me about Colonel Victor Banjo and how he was fighting for Biafra and Ojukwu killed him and all those. And I'm like, guys, you know what? This exactly, when this Tinubu's people, see, the thing that people don't understand, I lived in Lagos all my life until I left. All through from 1999, because I'm the last set of NYSC that saw military coup. When I was serving, I was in 98, 99. I was serving in Abuja 98 when Abacha died. I ended NYSC 1999 February. Well, technically they asked us to go home in December. What do you call it? The arrival of a democracy, because February. Exactly. First person I voted for in 1999 was Olufalaye. First person. First governor I voted for in Lagos is this Tinubu. So, you know, when the same man and his group in Lagos begin to push this ethnic bigotry thing, it's very painful. Because, you know, I ask myself, you see, because if it's possible for people to do open voting so that you see those who voted for you in history, he will see that a lot of people have voted for him in the past. If people suddenly in 2023 say, you know what, we want to go for a different person, I do not see why that should cause him to be so angry with people that he will be sowing all this divisive discord in Nigeria.
You were ready to throw an entire ethnic nationality under the bus for that.
Exactly. Every day they are coming up with all. I listened to the guy who was talking to you about Nigeria's, you know, as if when you corrected him, I started telling him about all those. Listen, which northern money did they use to fund Nigeria? Every region.
Story many times. They said they use northern money to build the Niger Delta refinery oil. That never happened. America brought their money. Yeah, Britain brought their money to develop Nigeria oil sector because they wanted the oil. Not that money.
Exactly,
but history. You said it. Nobody read it.
Yeah, but the truth about the matter is that it was even Nigeria. It was, see, the eastern region was economically developing. Western region the same thing. That's why we had the cocoa, the palm oil, and the groundnut pyramids. And like you rightly said, there was a healthy competition.
It was.
You understand? Okpara Zik was not the premier of the southeast in any case. Okpara will do this, and then maybe Awolowo will see it and do a counter one to better. Awolowo went ahead to build the first, build the first television in Nigeria and in Africa. These other guys will go and quickly do this. You know, there was just healthy, which is what we're talking about, federalism. That's the true federalism. But you see, after that military incursion, and that's a different conversation for a different. I'm not even going to go there. That's when Nigeria started going down the drain. But what I even want to talk about today is this issue of subsidy and this 8,000 naira that they want to give Nigerians. Listen, you see, people are asked. The first question to ask is, what led us to this subsidy issue? Everywhere in the world, there is a form of subsidy the government is giving their citizens.
Absolutely.
So the Nigerian government wakes up and says that our subsidy is becoming unbearable because of corruption. You didn't go and deal with the corruption issues. You didn't go and say those who are, bringing in the oil or fake oil and coming to collect money, they will come and tell you they supplied X amount, which they did not do, and then you pay them. You didn't go and deal with it. Then you cancel the subsidy totally. In other words, the only thing that the average Nigerian is getting from his government, you've taken it away. But you're subsidizing life for politicians. Exactly. You've gone back to go and give 35 million or whatever it is to judiciary and whatever and then to the National Assembly. So the question is
National Assembly, 35 billion.
Thank
judiciary.
You. Thank you.
For the people,
then the average,
we can't afford it.
Nothing. Thank you. Then the other question an average Nigerian should ask himself is this: Tinubu does not have ministers. So how did he sit down and come up with all this plan of 8,000 naira? It's not supposed to be when he has a ministerial board in place that they can sit down and begin to come up with economic plans. So it is only him and his Lagos boys that are deciding what is going on in Nigeria now.
Make a bust
Nobody
a
is
little bit. Make a bust your bubble small. Just because
go
I
ahead.
just mentioned that. You see the issue of 8,000 naira, yeah? They have come out to say, from the data they have, they said 75% of those who are going to participate, okay, they don't have bank accounts. Okay. Now, to share that money, 85% of the beneficiary. See how this the contradictory numbers will share you get. So if 75% no get a bank account, now you say 25%
bank
get
account.
bank account, Abi. So which means those who don't 75 we don't get a bank account, you have their data. They could open bank account for all of them. At least to keep the record of the money. You can do that, right? They won't. Now, when they said they want to display, they said 85% of the beneficiaries are going to be handed cash at hand.
My ego.
15% will get theirs through other means. No banking payments. 500 billion.
My ego.
Tell me.
My brother, see, Nigeria is a scam.
Absolutely.
And I don't say this with joy. I say it with pain. Because when these people think with those of us who have traveled abroad, I will take joy. Why am I calling my Eagles program to talk about Nigeria if I'm not interested in Nigeria? You can be doing
something else with your life right now.
Thank you very much.
You are. Please go on, Chim.
Listen, this last week, the Canadian government paid me $490-something called climate action for my family. So I have a family of 5, me, my wife, and 3 children. They do this once you have filed your tax for the year in April. From that day, they tell you anything that the government is going to give you. They tell you and they give you deadline, the dates that you'll be getting that money. If it's a quarterly money, you know. If it's a monthly money, you know this. Why are they able to do that? Because the country has a verifiable data of citizens and, permanent residents, citizens, non-permanent residents, anybody that lives in this land, the government knows them. So which data is the Nigerian government using to determine this thing they're talking about? And Nigerians, reasonable ones, people like those APC apostles will not sit down and ask themselves questions that, Tinubu, where are you getting this figure from? People are just walking blindly. Do you understand? In 2023, the largest nation, black nation in the world with the most intelligent people are acting like silly people.
We are a body, not giants. Later. See, Chim, thank you so much, as usual.
All right, man.
You always.
I'm
so blessed on my Eagles Diary Political with so many of you who always kind of love to take us through different perspective of our topics. And then, educate ourselves. Like, I have another caller here. Hello there.
Brother, good evening, sir.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm very well. And how is Scotland today?
Usual, fine. I'll say thanks for asking.
Okay, cool. Yeah, who's calling Jide from London. Anyway.
From London. So how is London today?
London is kind of suffering.
It's Sunday now, Jai. Don't answer me that way. So weekend is weekend, even though except if you are worried about tomorrow, back to work.
No, I'm a hay fever sufferer, so it's just been pulling it down.
So how are you doing, Baba?
I'm okay. I'm doing good. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let me start with my dear brother Mohammed, and this message is to Mohammed, and for those people, I know there are a lot of people that think like Mohammed on this program. We are not afraid to come home. Let me tell you, Nigeria has changed. If it comes to that we have to come home and fight, if it becomes war, we are not afraid. We'll buy tickets through Togo, through Ghana, we'll come home. I myself will come home and fight for the right thing to take our country back. We're not afraid. So Mohammed, listen, he who fears is somebody like Shakespeare said that when you fear is about dying many times before the actual death. Don't be afraid. If you believe in Nigeria, be ready to carry your arms this time and say, no, that is not going to happen. So that is that for Mohammed and for people that think like Mohammed. Number two is
there were people who paid as much as $5,000. Right?
Yeah.
Buy ticket to go back to that election. I was watching them. I was like, oh my God, people could do that. They went. You paid so much in Nigeria that much. You left your place and spent that much. So don't ever think there are no Nigerians that will actually return to Nigeria if he actually turn up to that way. I want to believe it too.
At least, Michael, this is the first time that every Nigerian from every part of the world now is interested because we want our country to change. Look at the last caller that told you he spent all his life in Lagos before he traveled out and all that. This is Nigeria. We have never seen it so divisive like this. There's never been any your Yoruba, your Igbo, your Urubo, your Calabar and all that. It never happened. Remember Abiola, everybody voted for him. Everybody saw him for what he did. Even though I was quite young then, everybody saw him as what he could potentially bring to Nigeria. I couldn't vote at that time, but I was aware, I can remember all things. Number two is the idiot that's called after Mohammed. Let me just say, you see, this is the authentic Agbado people. They have all their Facebook page and their WhatsApp group where they tell them lies and they believe it and they swallow it. I like the way you stopped him on the wrong statistics because this is what they spread all around people. And let me just tell him, let me just tell that idiot, I know that he had better go back and
we promise not to kind of like, even if we disagree with people, let
him go back. Yeah, let him go back and read his let him go back and read his history very well. He voted for Tinubu, although he did not come out. Did he not see all the...
he said that even Tinubu is clown, Obi is clown, Atiku is clown, so there are 3 clowns, so he picked...
No, he's the 4th clown. If he's calling all those 3 clowns, then he's the 4th one, you know? See... it pains me that a young person like this, because it sounds young to me, it pains me that when a young person has been indoctrinated with so much bigotry, because he's coming from a place of bigotry, he'll be thinking the way he's thinking, then what have we got to, what have we got to look at? What's our future? Call out somebody when somebody is wrong. Respectfully call out the person. And if this person does not want to respect himself, that is when you just show it for him. Tinubu knows that. Tinubu knows that he's going. He knows he's going. He knows statistically, all the barracks, all the major barracks in the country voted for Peter Obi.
When I saw that start, I was like, what's going on? Now, I'll tell you what I saw so that you could tell me what you yourself you read. I mean, like all of the police posts, police barracks, military barracks across Nigeria, Labour Party won every polling unit around there. Right?
Yes. Yeah. What does that
when they won in Lagos, they defeated Tinubu in Bodilon, where he's living. Okay, they defeated him
in his backyard,
the back of his house. He lost Lagos. He lost Ikeja, where he's actually like supposed to be, where his base.
360. He was defeated 360 degrees all around him.
In Abuja, they defeated them. Labour Party defeated them inside Aso Rock, polling unit inside Aso Rock, inside Apo Quarter, where all the legislators are living. They defeated them there. Inside, Baba.
So what BAT now is telling us? Is it telling us that we should disregard the 25% and let him sit down there and all that? Then what does that mean for Nigeria? Yeah, what does that mean for Nigeria? Man, almost let him just respect himself, whatever. Because I think they know now. I think I'm starting to suspect something. They are getting what they are getting probably is that the judges may say, okay, for the first time, we're going to do the right thing. Some of them, and they're starting to get scared, and this thing is getting interesting. So that's all I've got to do. That's my contribution.
Jide from London. Yeah, Baba, you have a good one. Okay, so I have another caller. I believe it's also from the UK. Hello there.
Hello, Maegu.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good evening. I'm good, and you?
I'm very well. Thanks for asking. Good evening.
I'm glad your voice of the voiceless.
Thank you.
I'm a regular ardent follower of you, and I'm happy to be online today with you
tonight. Yes, sir.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Because the thing is that I came to understand that when things are not spoken out about, issues continue. You see, my worry with the whole scenario. You know, when you come over here, I tell you a story. And that is what, when we look at where we're coming from, we need to ask some questions. The thing I think is that we don't ask questions. I was telling someone that why would somebody, for instance, drop out of university in Nigeria and come over to UK and make first class? Why have we not asked that question? Where is the missing link? It tells us a story that there is a disjoint between what should be done and what is not yet done. Let us look at the 500 billion palliative that, let me tell you one fact and one true thing. So are they not asking questions? Because if I'm right, I think the data that I'm relying on is the data of 8 years that the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs is using, if I'm right.
Well, so, that's what they pretended to be using. Even the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry has no data. They said that beneficiaries in their own ministry, 75 to 85% of them have no bank accounts. But yet billions and billions are being shared. Yeah, go on.
That is where the mockery of the whole situation starts. Because the financial inclusion program that was done years back. So are you telling us that the 85% has no access to banking facility?
Up till now. Because they are from rural areas. That's their story. They say they are from rural areas, no network, no bank, no clinical, and we need to give them the money. So,
you know what, there is this philosopher said something. He said, constant reputation. I think he's Napoleon. He said, constant reputation changes the mind of the crowd.
That's right.
I think it's high time they look back. The people, the mindset of Nigerians 8 years ago is not the mindset today.
No.
People have risen. People are asking questions now. And I think it calls for question. My worry, as far as I know, is that I am concerned about tomorrow. Building a nation is not, we haven't come to that stage where our leaders are asking questions. Let's build a nation. Yeah. What we have now is people are just, leaders are interested in, their pockets. I want to see a Nigeria tomorrow that my child will say, be proud to say I'm a Nigerian. That is what I want. And that is why people that, tribe, he's from here, let him continue. No. And I keep saying, let me tell you one thing happened. Last 2 weeks, I wasn't feeling, there was a way I felt up my chest and I called 111.
Right.
Finished speaking, and by the time I could finish speaking with the attendant, he said, I'm sending an ambulance. And all he asked me was, hope there is an access that wouldn't, you have access, the ambulance will have access to your house.
That won't stop them from accessing you.
Yes, and I said, and within a few minutes, the ambulance was here, attended to me professionally, did everything without looking at who I am. No. He attended to me and bet you me, he took me to the hospital. I was taken care of, treated, and nobody looked at me like, oh, are you from Igbo? Are you from, where are you from? The major thing was to make sure that I was okay.
That's right.
And I keep on asking questions. Back home, will this be possible? No. It's not that the Nigeria as a country is blessed in human resources, natural resources, everything is just to look inward.
Don't cause us with greedy, selfish criminals.
That is the problem. That is the problem. And that's why I keep questioning. Mayego, could you believe that globally, most of the policies, economic policies that drive nations, most of them has input of Nigerians. Nigerians progress so well. Most of the policies are drafted and written by Nigerians. By why those policies work in our country? today we are talking of economic distance and order. What I want to say is that we need to go back to the drawing board and ask ourselves questions. Do we really want to build a nation or a country? If you want to be a country, is that, well, there is no vision, there is no, everything just goes, whatever you see, you take. But a nation means that people. Yeah, because the people you're leading, you need to listen to their heartbeat. In UK today, why governance is like, when you look at it, you say, oh, things are working, is that the heartbeat of the citizens are listening to. You can't say, oh, I'm a leader, when the heartbeat of the citizens does not mean anything to you.
No empathy, no sympathy, no human feeling. Just I am your leader. Do as I say, not as I do. That's unfair.
You are not bothered that the man in the village, his child is not going to school. Meanwhile, funds might have been why you're okay that your child is away very comfortable in an overseas school, but the citizen in
the remotest part of your country are seeing education as luxury. It's unfortunate and it's deliberate. It's intentional.
Yeah. Even health. These are things that should be the right of the citizen, but they don't get it. So my brother, we need to build a nation, not a country. And until we do that,
that's right.
Yes, until the leaders feel the heartbeat of the people, all we are doing is just beating around the bush.
Waste of time and waste of life too. Well, we'll get there. Thank you so much for calling in tonight. I'm going to go take another one. All right. No. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You have a good one, sir. So, oh, hang on. What did I do? I always mix them all together sometimes. Now, one thing about those who call in directly is that except they are off, those of you who are calling on WhatsApp is going to be sort of very hard to get through. So now let me fix that. Give me a sec. I got one. So let's see that. Hello there.
Hello, my brother. Good evening.
How are you doing, sir? Good evening.
I'm fine, my brother. Please, I just want to ask a question, because sometimes I am thinking about Nigeria problem. I will feel so much headache. The National Assembly or House, Tribunal, I don't think that their brain is working, because I can't see the reason why this president will go and borrow money and share people. Huh? Who does that?
I see that thing before until Buhari came. They go borrow money, share them to poor people. And then the loan, Nigerians will come pay interest for years.
Nobody will ask question. You borrow money and share people. And who will pay this money? The same people will share the money. This thing make me crazy. This thing make me. Sometimes I go on, I talk alone. I ask myself a question. We borrow money and share people. Who will pay this money? The same people will share the money. We pay it back.
They devalue the naira for them, interest, so that they can give them that money. Then they continue to pay and suffer for it. They don't know. Some of them don't even know. Like, that's how it works.
The thing make me crazy. The thing make me crazy. Nobody ask questions. Lawyers, nobody ask questions. How can you borrow money and share people like that?
Billions.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Who does that? Does it make me crazy? Sometimes I think that sorry to say it. There's people who think they go to school, they're the worst illegal we have.
I tell you.
Senators, nobody ask questions. Lawyers, you borrow money and share people.
You be like, make I just go bank and say, hey, I need 10,000 pounds. Okay? And the bank says, oh, yeah, we will give you the 10,000 pounds. This is the payment plan. This is the interest. Yeah. You are going to pay back 14,000, which means I'm paying extra 4,000. So 10,000 euro to pay 14,000 euro. Now, I can't collect the 10,000. I can't come on social media and say, they do giveaway. See, all of you will collect my money online. If I tell you, say, I borrow the money. And I can say, I don't know how to pay back. And I don't go say, this one, the grace. Who send you? That's what Nigeria is doing. They borrow money with interest and they share it.
Nobody ask questions, Mike. Nobody ask questions. Nobody ask questions. See, make me crazy, Mike.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Which kind of country is this? My brother, I feel pain. So that's my own contribution. I feel pain.
I know. Thank you very much, Baba. Ma, go take another one again as well. Okay. And then, we can call it a night. You know what I mean? So let me take this one. 1 sec. So, yeah. Thank you. Hello there.
Hello?
Hello, ma.
How you doing, sir?
Well, I'm very well. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm good. This is the first time, though. I'm calling from Texas.
How are you? I know it's Texas.
I'm good. Texas is fine. My name is Joy.
Hi. Thanks for calling. So you are going to be my last caller. So, yeah, and I think this is going to be interesting. Sure.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I wish my mom was here to hear me talk. She's gone to work. I'm sorry I have my voice is low now.
Okay.
Because I'm a bit sick.
Oh, so sorry.
And the reason I called in is because they are putting this chaos and anarchy thing out there because they know we Nigerians, we are always very scared.
Yeah, don't worry, yeah.
We love our lives. We want to enjoy, So that's the reason why they're putting that narrative out there to scare lots of people. You can hear this guy that called Momo, or what's his name? He's already scared. Yes. And he's not the only one. Millions of people like him are already scared. Hey, they should just leave this man there. Shebi is just 8 years. Now.
He will soon leave.
Go. He will soon leave. Oh, let's leave him now. Let's just stop all this. That's what they're trying to put out there for people to buy. And they'll be like, Jafile, let him spend his 8 years and go.
For the sake of national security.
My brother, that man is going. He should go.
Amen.
That country is dead. That country is dead. There is no hope. Me, I'm not saying anything. But if God can do it, I'll be the happiest person.
You will dance
because
like David dance. They say, I will dance.
I'm telling you,
I will dance. I will dance like David dance.
That's
why silent people they wait like that. I mean,
oh yes, now all those supporting Bats and Tinubu and all of that. They are the ones even calling me the most for Nigeria don't handle. I'm like, I don't understand. Why you they support person where they kill you? So you won't die for person when no know if you they exist. So it's crazy.
Juju be that?
Not juju, my brother.
Somebody that is actually the source of what I believe is happening. Then I'm telling myself that it's not him. I mean well. Let's give him time. And you begin to look at yourself and say, no be juju be this.
Hey now, why are you guys so dumb? Can't you see?
So sad.
Like seriously, man, they'll be giving reasons for him.
Even if reason no day, man, they go manufacture one. They never manufacture something, and you'll be like, "What are you talking about? Like, where is that coming from? That's even not related. What you just said now, it's not even related. Why did you bring that up?" And you'll be like, "Yeah, I'm just saying that. What about that?" Man, see, you know what? I give up. Just leave me alone. I'm done. Like,
yes, that's
they will
what
give any
do.
reason, excuse. And they are still victim of what they are giving excuses for. I mean, I can't describe it to
I wonder. I wonder how they think. We are wallowing in poverty, pain, anguish, and you're supporting someone that is almost gone. He has nothing to say. He's a strong politician. He knows what he's doing. How? What has he done? He get mind, child. That man get mind, He get mind.
To put that off on the whole of Nigeria. I don't fit. I don't get that kind of liver. I don't think any of us has that liver here to carry out that kind of haste. And then you still get mind. You go there, they swear for you. You see, they parade yourself as president, Baba Ingerman. I agree.
See, if they walk in hand, go shift, go back, small, put chest, come outside. I don't understand.
See, thank
my
you
brother,
so much,
make I leave you.
Please take care of yourself, okay? Get more rest. And then,
thank you so much.
I hope I speak to you again, man. You have a good one.
Hopefully, you too. Bye.
Good night.
Yeah,
Okay?
bye.
Nice one. So and then say me well to Mama when she comes back. This segment is actually the 2 hours 19 minutes. So when Mama comes back from work, when Mommy comes back from work, okay, show them this part and say, Mommy, you missed that part where Lady Joy or Sister Joy was on this platform. But she did send a shout out, I would say. So thank you to all of you. I wish I could spend the rest of the night, but remember what I said earlier, right? Agbeke is not really feeling that great. And then, Yewande is also there. I would want to go and give some few hands. I'm sorry. I had to steal the rest of our time. But trust me, I will make it up to you some other time. So thank you for spending your evening with me. My contributors, my super chatters, super chatters, commenters, callers, and those who have managed to pay their offering by liking this broadcast. Thank you. I will see you some other time, okay? Until then, never stop watching my ego. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari láyé bí nàmbà wá. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.